everybody, it's Julie Nolan, and I have been so excited to share this with you. It's been in the works for quite a while. Metro Credit Union is my latest sponsor of the Julie Nolan Show. And I just want to take a second and let you know that every company that works with me, that sponsors me, I truly use and appreciate and like, and it's a product in my life. Arbonne, Melrose Family Dentistry, I do go to the dentist, and they work with me. And now I actually do get my mortgage at Metro Credit Union. And I was down there today. I was down at the branch, the Melrose branch, the little house that's across the street from Pine Banks. And I was down there, doing some work with my chair, naturally. So take a look. Welcome back. I have the CEO of Metro Credit Union, Robert Cashman. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It took a little while for us to get this going.
Yeah, we put it together. It's been busy.
Yes, yes. Now, I did a little research on you.
Okay.
And when you got out of college, you were a business management major, is that
Correct.
right? Okay. So you got out, and you could have just said, oh, I'll work in my family business. But it sounded like you kind of wanted to make your own mark, maybe, because what you said was, I thought I'd be there for about 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure. I got done
Right.
with college, and being at BU, I was doing some accounting and some management, and just wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I'd been accustomed to working at the credit union for many years, having grown up with it,
Right.
during working there in the summertime and vacations, and it was enjoyable.
Right.
But I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So at the time, I said I'd give it 6 months, and we're now celebrating over 30 years.
Yes, exactly. So can you, when you go back in time after, like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 or 9 months, like, what started to happen? Did you start to really say you could change it or bring your own mark into the business? Or
Well, the first thing that I realized is that what was happening at the credit union was something that I truly enjoy. The credit union itself is all about helping people, and that's very much part of my personality, and so I enjoyed that. I had the opportunity to go on the road and really sell the credit union, and it was really pretty easy because everybody had heard about great things that the credit union was doing, and they wanted to take advantage of it, so I was getting some personal satisfaction, and I think that led me to sort of say, I think I could do this for a little while.
yeah, because even when I met you at the headquarters, and we chatted in your office and stuff, and then I was down waiting for Kristen, my friend Kristen Nemeth, and you were already down and up, and you seemed like you knew everybody, and it's amazing how much energy you still have.
Well, thank you.
For a family, but because some people can work in a family business and be like, whatever. But you don't have that at all. I was surprised that was a family business.
It's interesting. The credit union itself has been around since 1926, and I'm actually third generation at the credit union, which is I think unusual. But putting that aside, the credit union itself is owned by the members themselves, and that's the distinction between a credit union and a bank.
Okay.
Where everybody is equal, regardless if they have $1 or $100,000. Everyone gets one vote, and they really drive what's happening within the organization. And it's just been great that I've been able to work there and see what my father did, what my grandfather did, and carry on some of those traditions.
I think the other thing too is people nowadays they forget about true service, which is sometimes you just want to talk to a person. You don't want to be on the, hit two and da-da-da. And that's the thing I noticed in both the Melrose branch, which we're going to get to, but even your headquarters, you always have a greeter. You don't see that a lot anymore, and it's really comforting when you're walking into a business or a building, know where to go, and it's just, so it's those simple little things that people are forgetting, but that really, I think, matter and probably make you stand out a little bit.
Well, thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah.
It's always been part of our called DNA, that we really want to make sure we provide personalized service. And the greeters, as you mentioned, are just the ability for the managers to talk to individuals. We have members that come in and they'll wait in line just to speak to a particular teller or a particular representative.
Yeah.
They feel comfortable. It's a personal relationship. You're not just a number.
So you have 14 branches?
We have 14 and one more on the way.
One more on the way. You're expecting?
Yes.
Oh, how exciting. When's it
due?
due?
We'll be opening a new branch in Newton very shortly.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, right
very
after
nice.
the first of the year, we'll be opening a new branch in Newton, so we're excited about that.
Well, that's the other thing that we talked about, is that with all these different branches, you guys seem to have really embraced the town that you're in. So, like, for example, in Melrose, you guys did something with the Victorian Fair,
Yes.
right? And the Melrose Alliance Against Violence.
Yep.
And I think that's another thing that really makes a difference to people when they go to those functions. It's not just this conglomerate, this big company that's come into my town. It's a friendly little house.
Right. Well, yeah, as I said before, we want to give back, and I really have to say, the employees, they really make it happen.
So what else is going on in terms of Melrose and some other things that you want to get involved in?
Well, we always want to be involved in the community. I know many of our employees are involved with some of the local organizations that exist, the service organizations, and we're always there to help out, assist either planning the programs or attending the functions.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time talking about housing. Housing and financial literacy are big parts of what we do, and we know here in Melrose there are many organizations that is truly something of interest to them, so we'd like to participate in those items.
Now, the other thing that you and I talked about before is you do a big walk in the fall,
Yes.
which is great, because now that you're sponsoring, I'm going to be able to talk about it from now till the fall.
Absolutely.
So get ready.
Sure. Well, Metro Credit Union has always been involved, at least for the past 11 years, been involved with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation walk. JDRF, the acronym for that, is located here in the Bay State chapter, is located in Wellesley. But Metro Credit Union has always been a great supporter. I'm very much appreciative of that. I have a daughter that was diagnosed 12 years ago, and as such, we put together a team and walks trying to raise money so we can help prevent, cure, and somehow help those individuals that have type 1.
I'm walking. I'm
That's
going to
great.
walk
Well, we're going to
next
get you
year.
there. Alyssa's All-Star team, in conjunction with Metro Credit Union, to date over the past 12 years, has raised over $350,000.
Wow.
So
I heard it's quite a machine. I was
Yeah.
talking to Keith about it. He said it's really, you've got it really a system going now.
Yeah, it's
for the
worked
walk.
well. People have been very generous. The
Yeah.
employees are fabulous. They
Yeah.
participate, they walk, we all wear our T-shirts, and it's a great time.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. I'm so excited for you to be a sponsor of our show, and you're going to be hearing about Metro and Julie Nolan as a combination all through the season. So
And thank you for having me here.
You're
and Thank
welcome.
you for being a member of Metro.
there you go. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, it's Julie Nolan, and you're watching The Julie Nolan Show. And you would have to be this dog with your head in the sand if you didn't know that April is Autism Awareness Month. It has been just an amazing transformation in the last 6 years. Everybody's lighting it up blue, and it's amazing, the statistics. Actually, amazing isn't the word, it's staggering. In 2002, because I looked it up, it was 1 in 10,000 children. And as of today, for boys anyway, it's 1 in 54. And when you talk about awareness, one of the things that I think about is, what can I share with somebody so that they feel like they understand this more? And so just for a few minutes, or maybe seconds, I'm going to give you what I like to call Autism 101. So the first thing is that Autism Speaks is the largest nonprofit organization for autism. And it was initially 2 organizations. It was Cure Autism Now and National Autism Research, and they came together. And the reason why it's called Autism Speaks is because a lot of people who have autism have trouble with speech. Some don't talk at all, and some, you know, it comes later. So that's sort of why, if you're not in this world, you wouldn't really put that together. The other thing is why it's the color blue. And I don't know this for a fact, but I know that one thing that I read was because so many children with autism have blue eyes, which I think is really fascinating. So anyway, that is where we are at right now, and I am devoting the first half of my show to autism. As I've mentioned before, my son Danny has it, and he goes to a special school called Futures Clinic in Beverly, Mass. And one of the things that I wanted to do is take some snippets of his day to give you an idea of why a child like him goes to a school like this and what they offer for him. You will see in this footage that it's very one-on-one, hands-on, and it is really the way that he is going to make progress. And that's the other thing that I want to say, is that a child with autism really has no limitations other than the fact that they need to be taught differently, and some things may take longer. When you get a diagnosis with the child at 2, nobody says they'll never do this or that. They just say they have these kind of issues and you're going to need to work around it. So I do think that this month and all that's being done for autism is making a difference. I hope that this little monologue has helped you too.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Welcome back to the second half of the Julie Nolan Show. I teased this at my last show. I said, where were you 20 years ago? Take a look at this. So now I'm going to ask you to do it again. Take a look at this.
Allow me to help present these awards. They are based on the 3-star selections. The number 3-star for 1993, the Captain Ray Bork.
Shouldn't attempt with garden ice and high heels. I guess that's the lesson to be learned. Hopefully she's all right.
I hope so.
That's probably her garden
That's a
debut.
fear of mine every time I've gone on the ice. Skates or no skates.
Welcome back. I have Howie Sylvester. He and I worked at Sports Radio WEEI 1,000 years ago, or at least it feels like 1,000 years ago. And he was actually working that night on the game. Howie, welcome.
Thanks, Julie. You know I'm a big fan of the show.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's great.
I bought the whole first season on DVD, and my wife and I power watched it last weekend. So I've really been looking forward to this.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I was working that night. I was at the station in Charlestown and saw the video that you just showed the audience, and it was quite startling.
Wasn't it startling? Now the thing that's funny is we had worked together for almost like 4 years by that point.
Yeah.
So that's what made it even like funnier, I would imagine, from your standpoint. Like, I know her. What is she doing? So I'm going to tell you what I was doing. I'll give you a little background. Okay. You know. But I worked as a promotions manager or something like that. And my job was to, oversee certain companies and connecting them with different sports events. So the Bruins, so this particular thing was the 7th player. It was the Bruins, and it was the company 9X. And it was the 9X like Player of the Year.
I think it was similar to what we do now. We do a 3-star awards at the end of the year.
Yeah, that was it.
And it was and Bob Wilson was our play-by-play guy, and
Yeah.
we were doing the presentation on the ice, and you give a trophy to each of the the
Right,
players who are the 3 stars
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah.
And so I guess you were out there sort of
Well,
helping
Yeah, well, this is
herd
what was
traffic.
this is what was great about it, because I was a little overzealous. What happened was my boss said to me, "This is your baby." This is, and because I'd been working with her, and up until then, she designed every promotion, and I would execute. So she said, "I want you to do all this. I want you to work with the Bruins." I went to Newbury Street and got those crystal bowls. And all. So I was very, very excited about it. So excited that for my $19,000 a year salary, I was wearing a $500 suit. You do that math.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I'm so excited
Which
about
was
it.
3 times the value of the trophies you were handing out, by the way.
So what happened was, again, in that overzealous mind, I said to my boss, "Am I supposed to take a picture?" Because I used to do a lot of photography too in my job, and she said, "Yeah, if you can get out there." So of course I'm, this is my night, you know. So then I go and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna like say to Ray Bork and
Bob.
thank you, I can't think of
Bob
his name.
Wilson.
Thank you. Excuse me. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't have that kind of confidence. So instead, you know, in a very uncalculated move, I put my foot off the rug and.
Oh, that's not a good idea. that was your first mistake.
Now I don't know if you remember this, but you made me a crash helmet
I did.
for my
Well, you came back to the station afterwards,
Mhm.
and I, watched it on
Numerous
TV.
times.
Yeah, and it wasn't usual for you to come back to the station after games.
Correct.
And I was surprised to see you, and you walked into the studio where I was working, and the look on your face was like you had just been hit by a truck.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I'll just live in my parents' basement for the rest of my life.
Well,
I don't know what I'm gonna
I
do.
don't think you knew the magnitude of what had happened, 'cause I don't think you knew how many people saw that.
Right. No, it's true.
You sort of gave me the, like, nobody knows about this, right? Like, no, Julie, everybody knows about this.
When I was leaving with my boss, we got in a cab to go back to the office, and I remember saying to her, "You don't think they'll put that on the news or anything, do you?" No, they wouldn't put that on the. What?
No.
Are you crazy?
No, that's not going to
Yeah,
make the
yeah.
paper.
Yeah, this was the Herald, page 4.
Yeah.
And that whole day, the next day, I had to go to work, and which was painful. And we had to go. Believe it or not, we were going to a Bruins practice. I was going with Tom Pappas.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to bring a bunch of affiliates, and they ended up canceling the practice because they won the game the night before. Not that I would know, because I fell and then left. But they ended up canceling, so we went out to like the Fords or something for lunch. I'll never forget this. And the waiter goes, "Did you see that girl last night?" And I'm like, and I'm looking at Tom, like, should we tell him? Should we not tell him? And it was then that I started to go, oh, I think a lot of people saw that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
fun.
a lot of people saw that.
That was
It was quite a topic of conversation for quite a while. My favorite part of it was Ray Bork's reaction. There was, let me do my Ray Bork for you.
Please.
It was,
And you know, with his fancy skating footwork, he could have
Yeah.
caught me. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. You didn't see me starting to fall. You would have been like the hero. But anyway.
yeah. Sorry. I wished I could have reached through the TV and helped you out at that point. I felt
Oh,
while I was
gosh.
laughing hysterically, I felt kind of bad for you.
Yeah. Well, it is amazing how time flies. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't believe that's 20 years ago.
I know.
That's
I
craziness.
know. And it's great that I've gone so far in my career that back then I was producing Bruins games.
Yeah. And
I'm
now you're
producing Bruins games
I didn't even mention
So
that.
I've, so I've really taken a step
yes,
up.
you have. Well, my God, you're flying up there.
Yeah,
So Sports Hub, right? That's
the
where
Sports
you are?
Hub.
The Sports Hub?
Yep, producer of the Bruins and the Patriots games there.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's fun.
Well,
It's fun.
thank you for coming back 20 years later.
It's nice to be back.
The only thing that's different is my hair color. And that's it. I mean, right?
That's about
right?
it. That's it,
Right,
exactly.
Howie?
That's the only thing that's different, Jules.
We'll be right back.
Hello, kids. I'm Michael Brasso. So, today I'm at TV Studios with my dad, and I would love to show you everything in this room. And I'm Michael Brasso, and I'm gonna like do a video for you. So here, when at the end of Julie Nolan's show, she like gives like the ladies hairspray for like gifts for like earning them. So that's how she gives them, and like and here's like a picture of myself. Like I'm just like holding a water bottle in that picture. I was like at Maria's christening for something, and here's a picture of me holding my water bottle, which is perfect, and I'm like giving a smile, sort of. So this picture might be so great, and I think like these are all the details, and like TV studios, I hope you get to go to this place someday, because this might be the best place in the whole world, and you know that. So every time this has rushed through it, my dad really works here by playing music, like in the other room where he sings, and like I am in the Julie Nolan room right now showing you like the stuff, how it looks in a minute. So I just want to thank you to Mrs. Nolan for sending out my picture. So I promise, Julie Nolan, I'll watch your show next time. Bye. Okay, that's the end of the video.